Thank you for joining me. This is going to be awesome. I'm really excited. So my name is Gitanjali. I'm 14 years old, and I am an inventor, I like to say, or like a promoter of STEM. I'm excited to ask you a couple of questions and get some of your responses. So the first thing I want to start out with is, I guess, just introduce yourself, your title, and your company. So basically who you are.
People know me as Swati Handa. Who I am is a loaded question, but for beginning, I lead the learning strategy for the cybersecurity program at Cisco Networking Academy. So with Cisco, we have a program, Networking Academy, where we essentially provide cybersecurity education, among other things, to a global audience. And I have the pleasure of leading its strategy and what the future should look like.
That's awesome. I was part of a competition at school. I don't know if you've heard of it, called Cyber Patriot.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess looking more in depth into your job and your company, so what are kind of some of your responsibilities and day-to-day activities?
I think the best way to explain that would be through an example, like what I did. So we're trying to look into the future and decide on what products, like Cyber Patriot that you talked about, right? How you used Networking Academy products in there. So Cyber Patriot is meant for a general audience, open to the public. It's very competitive. It teaches you skills around capturing, how do you secure the network? That's the aim of it. Now, how do we reach non-traditional education system, say the prison system, right? How would we take the same education to somebody who's in the prison, yet wants to make sure that they can keep up with the education and what's going outside? So things like that. We're also experimenting with drones, VR, anything that would enable individuals to find interest in the subject.
Wow, that's incredible. I feel like, it's just so innovative, and just the opportunities for what we can do today with the latest developments in technology is absolutely insane. It's out of the roof, like the things that we can think about. So it's awesome that, Cisco is taking the first steps into that world. So regarding that question, it's more of a fun one. So what do you love most about, your day-to-day activities or your profession as a whole?
What I love most is that the challenge part of it, right? Nothing's ever boring. The profession itself is very exciting. Plus, on top of it, the ability to make an impact. Just love it. Love my job.
So my next question for you is more about like your personal story and your personal decision in becoming an engineer, or kind of what you want it to be. So The first question obviously is, how did you come to your current career?
So it's very interesting, right? So I've had a very supportive family, and they were always like, okay, go explore, see what you want to do. So I entered a couple of competitions like you did, right? For Cyber Patriot, I entered those, and I said, hey, I want to try it out. I want to see if all this works. And I was pretty pumped up. I was like, okay, this sounds fun. I want to do this on a daily basis, not just one off. So with all of that excitement in my head, I went to my career counselor in high school. So I clearly remember as I walked in, she just picked an envelope and she had it ready and she passed it on to me. I opened the flap and I see a whole bunch of brochures, right, for options you could do. It was interesting because most of the options, in fact, all the options, were catering to the traditional roles that you would attribute for a female, but there was nothing around engineering or anything around computer science. So I just assumed, it was a miss. So I closed it, I thanked her, and I said, I'm actually interested in engineering. It was very interesting, Gitanjali, believe it or not, I got an eye roll. I got a total eye roll from her, and he was like, really? Do you think you can handle engineering? I think those were one of those pivotal moments which helped me steer more strongly, made my resolutions to become an engineer more strongly. Being an engineer is having that capability to create something, is having the capability to solve problems, right? Be it in computers, be it in any other field. So having that knowledge is priceless. There's no doubt about it. So but somebody's saying you can't do it. Oh, I want to do it. And I'll show you how I can do it. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, like experiences like that are just so something that you remember and something that you take on with you for the rest of your life. So I'll definitely remember that as I start to go into the workforce. Mm-hmm. So I had a couple questions about like the idea of being a young woman getting in tech again. And the idea for this is, what did you wish you knew when you were about my age about getting into technology jobs?
Don't think of yourself as a girl going in. Just get that out of your head. You're going to go do your job. Take the gender out of it. And that's part of the problem, because we don't need special treatment. And don't just identify the problems, work on the solution. So, and the last and one thing that my mentors have told me and it always stuck with me is, while you're navigating through all of this, always assume positive intent. Assume that when the other person is talking to you has something good in mind. So keep an open mind to hearing them out, but don't let their thoughts put you down. So it's about keep your confidence up, challenge folks who try to put you down, right? Keep your chin high up, whatever happens. But that does not mean you don't listen. You have to, because as you move through the ladder, listening is one thing that has helped me tremendously. When you listen, you learn. When you learn, you pick up, and that's when you move forward.
That's actually really helpful for me. So lastly, I want to end with, do you have any tips for the thousands of Technovation participants around the world who are already using tech to solve local problems? So I'm personally an alumni from last year who went to the World Pitch with an application which is able to connect to a device that helps to diagnose prescription opioid addiction, which is a problem that I'm extremely passionate about. Okay. So similar to me, there's so many other girls across the world who have equally or even more amazing ideas. And so do you have any tips for them when they're starting to create, their solutions, or when they're starting to make a difference in the world?
You should have started with that. See, that's how you start. You said, hey, I'm a local champion. Let's see what you got. That's how you start. No, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Gitanjali. That's wonderful. I would say while you're doing this, it's again, get champions, get people, reach out to people and spread the word. Let them know what good work you have been doing. Because sometimes with so much news around us, all the good work, we need that positivity. We need people to know that there's good going around, and there are folks like you, wonderful people like you, who's doing something good, and that needs to be amplified. So I would say get champions, and at the same time, measure your impact. Did you, for the opioid problem that you talked about, so did you roll it out somewhere? Did you do a pilot? I'm now just focused in on exactly what did you do. So tell me about that. How did you solve the problem?
It's still currently in the lab, mainly because it's not really ethical to perform testing on humans. So I'm basically getting yeast addicted to drugs testing on that. Okay. But I have received a lot of feedback from physicians and other mentors that I've talked to regarding my idea. So I'm really excited to roll it out soon.
Oh, no. Wow. That's pretty cool. Nice. So I would say, if in terms of tips, say, tell your story more, inspire more people. That would be my number one tip, right? It's spread the word, and whatever you do, get champions for your product. That would be my advice. Yeah. And dream big, okay? Don't, this is the first step. You don't stop here. You got to do more good stuff. I want to hear more about that. This is step one.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I think that, currently you are doing amazing things, and you're just working with an amazing organization which is able to start making HERstory, and that's definitely something I want to be doing in the future as well. So thank you so much, Ms. Swati.
No, thank you so much, Gitanjali. All the best. And then hopefully I'll get to hear more about you in the news. Good stuff. You better not forget me. I'll be right here.
I won't. Not at all.